Hi, it's Harry for Monday Sportive with Toby for episode 3. Well, that would be 6, I guess, because it's two threes on two hands. But anyway, episode 3. Toby, I know you were buzzing to be on this show. You were buzzing to talk about your week. Absolutely thrilled with your boys. They really put on a show.
Yeah, thank you, Harry. Yeah, I've had a shocker. I know I've had a shocker. The big teams let me down. I keep saying in the shows how you've got to back the big teams, and that's the way to go. And then the big teams go and play like that. I mean, how many goals did they even score between them? I mean, 2 or something. Oh, it was an absolute joke of a game week. And yeah, I'm not doing good.
Well, you mentioned that. I was just looking. I was trying to get it up then, but two of the top scorers, two of the top 4 scorers, I think, are for Slovenia and or Slovakia, sorry, and Georgia. So it is quite difficult to predict who is going to be the eye catcher. I think now the big boys are the right call. I'm certainly hoping so, which we'll get into. But you're right, it was an absolute minefield to work out who was going to perform. No consistency in the front line, no consistency in the midfield. It was only really the defenders that were fairly reliable. It was quite a lot of clean sheets, and I think the third place system meant some of the teams were a bit skewed from Spain and Portugal as well. But how do you find it?
Well, I mean, looking at my team, it just all went wrong. It just all went wrong. I mean, the only scorer I had over 5 points was Mbappe, and I had actually captained Mbappe, and then I gambled and changed it to Ronaldo, thinking that he was guaranteed a goal in the group stage, as I said before. And yeah, this is why I hate Ronaldo, because the one time that I wanted him to actually do well for me, and he goes and lets me down. So yeah, I mean, I hope he goes through the tournament now without scoring at all. I hope Portugal go out in the next round, and I hope, yeah, goodbye, Cristiano. He's certainly not going to be in my team.
He's in my team. There's not that many good strikers, and I think you never know. Portugal are doing well. I think it's only a matter of time before he pops up. He's had a few chances. He's had a few sighters. So he's in my team. But all I have to say about that last game week, about match day 3, is Alejandro Grimaldo
You
captained
did.
him. I didn't realise that you could change. I think he was. I think I knew you could change captain, but I didn't realise you could change captain so close to the teams coming out. I saw Fabian Ruiz was not playing. I saw that you could indeed change a captain to someone that was playing, and I captained Grimaldo because he was playing, and then he gets 16 points, I believe. So, ooh, that was a game changer. Suddenly 10 points behind you, back in the mix a little bit, still quite far out, but I've got an outside chance of creeping back in. Certainly an outside chance of taking over from you and Alex over the course of the coming games. Should I take you through my team?
Yeah, I'm yet to make my changes yet, because, as you know, my opinion is you have to leave it till the very last minute. Hear about all the changes. Also, I mean, to be fair though, you can make unlimited changes anyway this game. So
Yeah, I
maybe
was about to say that. Yeah.
I could do a draft team, but I like to leave it to the last minute anyway. I like to give my mind a bit of a relax, and then I come back to. As I said, it's back to the drawing board after the week I've just had. So yeah, please go ahead, talk through your team.
Okay, I'm going to go through it player by player, but I'll absolutely rattle it through. I mean, Neuer, Bastoni, Wirtz, and Mbappe, and Bruno, and Fabian Ruiz are all still in the team, and Milderstadt too. And the ones that have come in are the French goalkeeper, Depay, Leonhardt, Cancelo, Musiala, that's the big one, Bernardo Silva, Ronaldo, as we mentioned, and Carvajal. So
So
I
you
think
back the
it's
big
strong.
teams. Yeah.
And I think I've gone for your logic now. You've won me over. I think you have to, because a lot of the round of 16, it's a bit dead. It's a bit dead. It's a dead duck, because you look at those fixtures and you think really only um, Belgium France is an eye catching one.
Yeah, on paper, definitely. I mean, there's interesting games, like given how well Georgia played against Portugal, and given how good Spain have looked, there's a lot of pressure on Spain there to keep it going. And yeah, you never know. There could be. I think there'll be a shock, but I mean, the problem is right now it looks like that if anyone's going to get shocked, it's gonna be these boys. So yeah, did I hear right? You didn't have any England players in there?
No, I don't think so. I think I took out Bellingham and I'd already taken out Foden.
Yeah, I mean on
Yeah, no England boys at all. But I did have Schranz because I was like, he's been playing quite well, and then I realised he was playing against England. And I'm like, no way am I having him anywhere near a team that's playing England.
yeah, no, it's
I
I
think,
mean
yeah, you go.
no, I mean you have to go against England because the way we've been playing, it's been shocking. I'd understand it if you had a defender, maybe Pickford, in fact, because at some point somebody's probably going to give away a penalty because we're playing that badly, and Pickford's actually quite good at saving them. But yeah, there's no benefit of having any of the England attacking players right now. Even Kane, to be honest, like he hasn't even had a shot in the last couple of, well, he scored against Denmark, but he hasn't had a shot in the last three halves of football, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we've looked toothless in attack, and yeah, the less we say about England, the better.
Yeah, I think I mean I know people will be itching to hear what we think about the game, but I think that's right. I think there is the peep show meme. There's an overwhelming sense of dread about created by Southgate over the course of a few games. And I think Foden having his baby is the only cause of celebration for the team over the coming or the last few weeks. That's been the only celebratory note, and other than that, it's all been literally a crash, including Gordon, who actually did crash off his bike. So it's not been an enjoyable time to be an England fan. There's been no hype. There's been no buzz that there always is in tournaments. I'm in London. That could all change. A win. We're very fickle. England fans are very fickle. Understandably, I am too. But yeah, they're not a good zone for the fantasy football. I think the fantasy football, Spain and Portugal, are the strongest teams really for me. I think they've been the two standouts of the tournament. Maybe Germany as well. I think those three are the favourites for me. And by dint of that fact, they're the ones that I'd pick the players from the most. I think Spain is a bit of a maze again. I keep on using the maze and minefield words, but it's really difficult to pin a tail on the donkey as to who's going to play well. And I think Spain is unpredictable to say who's going to be playing because they've had rotation and who's actually going to perform because Fabian Ruiz isn't a fluid attacking player. He's more of a kind of passing machine. Yeah, I think Portugal's the ones that Bruno, Bernardo, Ronaldo have covered all bases there. At least one of them will have a good game week, and that's all you really need is 1 in 3 players to have a good game week.
Yeah, I mean, what you've got to think about as well, though, is that you've got to look at the draw at the end of the day. And this is what I think I talked about this in one of the games before. You've got to almost make predictions. You've got to say what you think's going to happen when you're selecting a team. And obviously, you talked there about you didn't talk about French players. You talked about Spanish, German, and Portuguese players as being ones to pick. They're all on the same half of the draw, so only one of those teams is going to make the final. And you've kind of got to be thinking about that already. You don't want to go too many of those players. Obviously, you can make some changes, and I guess we've still got both got our wild cards to use. But you still have to think about these things. And obviously, if you overly back one team, it can put you in a sticky situation in terms of whether you play your wild card or not, and then you could end up with a situation where you've got blank players within a game week. I mean, I'd like to think that England on their side of the draw are the ones to back, but the way we're playing, they're not. So it's really hard to know which team to pick players from on England's half the draw. Right now, one team we need to talk about is Austria, because I haven't picked an Austrian player yet, and I don't know exactly the one to go for. I know Baumgartner has got a few points in midfield.
Yeah, he's been well.
And maybe it's worth picking a defender or something, or Sabitzer as well. Sabitzer's got a goal in him. He plays quite an advanced midfield position for them. I think I'll definitely bring in one of those names I just mentioned. I'm not sure quite which one yet. And Netherlands at the same time. They haven't looked great at all, but they're in. Who are Netherlands? Who have Netherlands got in the next round?
I have a look.
memorize most of the draw, but that one's evading me. I mean, obviously, it could well have been England, Netherlands, Romania, but then that puts them on which side of the. I'm not even sure which side of the draw they're on. My knowledge is lacking right now.
I think you can be forgiven for not thinking what side on the draw they're on. I think I disagree about logic to a certain extent, where I say the wild card, the moment to play it is when the draw gets halved. I know it's going to get halved every time, but it's going to get halved from 16 to 8. So if it's going to get halved from 16 to 8, that's a lot of change. Then after that, the changes are going to be a bit more subtle. So I'm going to play my wild card after this week, and I'd say Netherlands are a good bet because I think their attacking players are a good bet. Romania have got a goal in them. Depay and Gakpo, I think, are complete awful players for the most of the time, but then they pop up with a goal, and that's all you really need. So I think Memphis Depay, I don't think he's ever really had a lot in him, but he's got a goal at tournament football. He's got moments at tournament football, and credit to him, he's a good international footballer on that basis. But I kind of pick him reluctantly. I never take against players at United. He was awful for us for a long period. He was like Martial, but if like Martial on speed, but if the speed is at 0.1% rather than like full grade. So any other final thoughts from you, Toby, on that weird analogy?
No, well, there. I mean, I can see you've got some PTSD where Depay is concerned. But in terms of thoughts, any other thoughts about the game week? I mean, well, last week, the more I can forget last week, the better. I just need to put that behind me to start to think about I'm definitely gonna be thinking about the way the draw works. I'm gonna be sort of probably putting about half players from one side of the draw, half players from the other. I don't want to back England, but at the same time, looking at our half of the draw is potentially. I may back England defenders because I could see us scraping through with some 0-0 draws. Maybe bring in Gay's been fine.
Yeah, but he's done well on fantasy football. He's got like 21 points. He's top 5.
Okay, yeah. Well, maybe him then. Walker, Pickford. I think I'll pick Pickford as one of my goalkeepers actually. And I'll be sticking with the likes of Mbappe. Mbappe is going to come good, even though he's obviously got his like facial issues. But yeah, I won't be picking Ronaldo because he's let me down now, and I hate the man with a passion. And the fact that I had to cheer him on was bad, but it made it even worse that when I was cheering him on, he did absolutely nothing, and then got me 2 points when I captained him. Like it's almost like a big FU going my way from Cristiano for all the stuff I've given him online.
I'm sure he reads it all. I'm sure he watches it all and reads it all. But the saga continues. Toby versus Ronaldo continues, and hopefully we do it. Hopefully we win. Hopefully we have that favourable draw and it all comes home. But I wouldn't put any confidence on that. If you bet your house on England before the tournament, I'd suggest finding a temporary hostel. But anyway, on that note, all the best.